तथागता कहना पड़ा ज्ञानानाम ज्ञान उत्तमम, जितना भी संसार में ज्ञान है उस ज्ञान से भी उत्तम ज्ञान देता हुआ है। जो कुछ अब तक मैंने तुझे दिया है उससे भी बेस्ट दे रहे हैं भगवान, उससे भी सुंदर।
Krishna, he's gone back to Hastinapur and he tells Queen Kunti, he tells the Pandavas, everything is fine now, it's time for me to go back to Dwarka. Okay, so he's getting ready on his chariot, to go to Dwarka, and Queen Kunti comes amidst hundreds and thousands of devotees. She comes running and telling him, please wait, don't go yet, right? And then she gives a wonderful prayer of 25 verses, okay, or also called as Kunti Shruti in the Bhagavatam. So this is taken from the Bhagavatam. Since it's a part of the Bhagavatam, normally as a Mangalacharan we would pay obeisances to Lord Narayan Rishi, also Saraswati Mata. So I'll just say this in Sanskrit. Narayanam namaskrityam narachaivam narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nasta prayasta aduresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistuki. So before reciting the Bhagavatam, it is the very means of conquest that one should offer respectful obeisance to the personality of Godhead Narayan, onto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, onto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and onto Srila Vyasadeva. Right, so she's getting ready. Lord Krishna is getting ready to go to Dwarka, and Queen Kunti comes running after him, and she's offering 25 verses, wonderful verses, in the glorification of Lord Krishna. Okay, and these are spontaneous and highly illuminating, right, full of devotion, and it reveals both the deepest transcendental emotions of the heart of Queen Kunti and profound philosophy and theology. Right? So she's saying with lots of bow to Krishna. Okay? And she goes like this. Can you make it louder? ये मैक्सिमम है. Sorry for the technical glitch. It should be settled in a few seconds. 8 minute game and try to it now. Okay, so what she does is, in awe and reverence, she's praying to Krishna. And what she's telling him is, you are just not my nephew. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay? And then she moves on to say that, although you create everything, everything is created by you. Okay? You are creating everything, but you are aloof from it. Okay? He's aloof from it, and he has given Mahamaya the entire responsibility to manage the material world. Okay? And then she moves on to tell him that, Krishna, you are inside of everybody. He's inside of us as Paramatma. And he's also inside of animals. He's in every atom. And she also says that you are also outside. Outside as the Brahma Jyoti. Okay, the energy which is effulging from the Lord. Right? So she's telling him, you are inside and outside, but we can't see you. We can't see you. Why is it that we can't see you? Okay? You see this picture over here? So Krishna has invested his energy in the three modes or the three gunas which Acharyaji was speaking about. His energy is invested in her, and she is covering us like a cloud. She's covering us as a cloud, and we are not able to see that actually the Lord is sanctioning everything in our lives. Okay? So she's giving us a wonderful peek into the Lord. Just take an analogy of the sun. Right? So the sun, because of the sun's heat, water evaporates from the lakes, from the rivers, from the sea. And what happens? You form clouds. And once the clouds are formed, can you see the sun? You can't see the sun. So that's exactly what is happening over here. Krishna has invested his energy into the three modes, and she is blocking us from seeing him. Okay. And then she moves on. So Krishna is also called Ras Raj. Why is he called Ras Raj? Because he is the king of relationships. He cherishes all the relationships which he has with his devotees. Okay? And when you call him, by a name which indicates his relationship with his devotee, his heart will melt. Okay, when you call him by a name which indicates his relationship, his heart will melt. And what happens is he remembers the relationship which he has with the devotee. So what is Queen Kunti telling? She's telling that, you are son of Vasudev, you are son of Devaki, and you are also son of Nanda Maharaj. Okay? And then she says that you are very dear to the Gopas, and you are very dear to your Kama. So if you want to win the heart of Krishna, don't just call him Krishna. Call him by a name which indicates his relationships. Okay, it goes a long way. Right? So devotees of Krishna, what they do is they pray to him by those names to evoke the compassion, right, from his already very, very soft heart. Alright, so there's a lesson for us to learn. And she moves on. So what do you see in this verse? You see the word Pankaj indicated 4 times or spoken 4 times. Anyone here called Pankaj? It's quite a common name in India. Pankaj means lotus. Okay, so she's saying that you have a navel which looks like a lotus. Actually Brahmaji, the lotus actually emerges from Lord Vishnu. So she's saying that. And then she moves on to say that you are decorated with a garland of lotuses. And then she moves on to say that your glance is as cool as the lotus flower. Okay? Sometimes it also means that you have got lotus-like eyes. If you take a petal of the lotus, it looks like Krishna's eyes. And then she says that, my humble obeisances to your lotus feet. Why do they say lotus feet? If you look at Krishna's feet, you will see an imprint of the lotus on both his feet. That's the reason why they call it lotus feet. Okay? So what she's saying is, for example, if you are a parent, you have a daughter. I've got 2 daughters, right? So I used to buy lots of Barbie dolls for them. Whenever I see a child holding a Barbie doll, what do? I remember of my pastimes with my children when they were small. So similarly, when Queen Kunti sees the lotus flower, she immediately remembers Krishna. Okay? Right. So that's the third verse. So out of 25, I'm only going to speak on 12 of them because, I've only got 25 minutes. Normally when I conduct this course in Singapore, it's an 8-hour course. We really go deep in to look at, her feelings for Krishna. So what is she saying now? She said that you saved Devaki from the jail and you also saved me. Okay? But take a step back and look at Devaki's life. All her kids were killed. Which means that he was more merciful to Queen Kunti. Why was he more merciful to Queen Kunti? Because Queen Kunti had no husband. She was all alone. Okay? Pandav, he passed away. She was all alone, and therefore he came and ensured that all her sons were protected. So what's the lesson we can learn? When we are in great danger, the Lord will protect us if and only if we have invested 100% of our trust in Him. Okay? The more the danger, the more the protection of the Lord. Okay? So we move on. So she moves on and tells him, Krishna, you have been protecting us all this while. In which ways? First one, Visan. Visan is a poisonous cake. The poison was enough to kill 100 soldiers. Was enough. Right? So what did the Kauravas do? They fed the Pandavas with the cake. But Krishna came and protected them. Then she moves on to speak about Maha Agni. What did the Kauravas do? They built a nice house. Hello?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Right, so then she moves on to explain. The second calamity was the fire, the great fire, right? So Dhritarashtra, he built a house made of lacquer, which can easily catch fire. Why? Because when they are comfortable in that house, he was going to go in and burn the entire house. And Vidura, who is Queen Kunti's brother-in-law, he came and he saved them. Okay, so Krishna protected the second time. The third time was Purushat Darshanat. The cannibals wanted to eat the Pandavas, Hidamba and Hidambi, and Krishna protected them. And then Asat Sabha, the vicious assembly. Remember what happened at the vicious assembly? The Pandavas lost the entire kingdom. And Draupadi was also disrobed in the entire Visat Sabha. And what did Krishna do to her? He came and he saved her. She was trying to protect herself by pulling on to her sari, right? When the Kauravas were pulling it, when they were trying to disrobe her. And finally she said that my two hands, husbands, they can't protect me. All my two hands, gurus, they can't protect me. Hey Krishna, the four-handed one, you please come and protect me. And that's the time when he gave endless amount of sari to her so that she could protect herself. And then she goes on to say, okay, cannibals, Yeah, and then they were exiled. They were exiled and they went through lots of hardships. And Krishna came and also protected them. Okay. And then during the Mahabharata war, what happened during the Mahabharata war? You know, there was Bhishma Dev, there was Drona Acharya. They are all Maharathis. They can have easily killed all the Pandavas. Very easily. But Krishna protected them. Okay. And then finally, okay, Arjuna's son Abhimanyu was killed when he got into the Chakravyuh. Okay, he was killed, but his wife Uttara was expecting the child. Okay, and what did Ashwatthama do? He sent a nuclear weapon to kill that child so that there will be no more lineage of the Pandavas. And what did Krishna do? As Paramatma, he came and protect the baby in Uttara's womb. So these are all the ways in which Krishna was protecting Queen Kunti and the Pandavas. Okay? And then she moves on, which is like, I think most of you would have heard this verse. Krishna, let these problems come back again and again, because I know that when there are problems, you will be coming to protect us. You will be coming, and when you come, and when I see you, I don't have to worry about being born again. How many of us will ever say a prayer like this to Krishna? Whenever we have the slightest problem, like what Acharya was mentioning today in his class, we start blaming, oh Krishna, I've been coming to the temple, I give a 10 ringgit donation to you, you're not solving my problem, you're giving me more problems. That's the mood which we have. But look at Queen Kunti. She's saying, bring it on Krishna, bring it on. Let the problems come. Because when they come, I know that you are there to protect me. When I see you, I don't have to be born again. There are 4 lessons we can learn from this. Right? Which I just spoke about. How do we treat ourselves when we are in a problem state? The second one is, just take a step back and imagine 2 lovers, 2 21-year-old boy and girl. They are in mad love with each other. The parents come to know about it and they try to stop this. What is going to happen between the love? It will get much more intense, isn't it? Much more intense. So similarly, when a devotee has love for the Lord, and when there are problems like this coming in between, the devotee's love for the Lord and the Lord's love for the devotee becomes much, much more intense. Okay? And in the Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, devotees consider the pain of calamity and problems insignificant compared to the pain of separation from the Lord. Being separated from the Lord, they feel the pain, but other pains which come, it's nothing. Okay? And the 4th lesson to learn is that Queen Kunti is now telling, okay, the Kauravas have all been killed, my children have gained the kingdom, everything is fine. And now she's worried. She's saying, when everything is fine, there is a possibility for me to forget you. When we are in a comfortable state, what's going to happen? We will say everything is fine, let's forget about the Lord for the time being. When there's a problem, then we will remember you. So she is telling that, I don't want to get into a state where I forget you. Okay, so that's why I feel Queen Kunti's prayers are so intense. So we'll move on. So here Queen Kunti is saying that you cannot be approached by people who are running after money, who are running after wealth, who are bothered about their beauty, who are worried and bothered about the high parentage, being born with a golden spoon, etc. Okay, you cannot be approached by all these people. Why? Because they do not have a sincere feeling for you. And what is the word she used? You can only be approached by those who are materially exhausted. Okay? Does materially exhausted mean you cannot be rich? No. You can be rich, but you are not attached to your wealth. You are not attached to your wealth. You are not attached to your talent, not attached to your wealth. Everything of yours is actually given to the Lord. I know from the case of KL temple, there are some of you who have given so much to the Lord. Even the temple was built by Shree Makhanlal. 100% devotion he had for the Lord. Okay? So that doesn't mean that if you are rich, you cannot be a devotee. No. You just need to be materially exhausted, unattached. Look at Yudhishthira Maharaj. He had the whole of Hastinapur with him. Okay, look at Bharat Maharaj. All of them were rich, but they were great devotees. Okay? Right, and now Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, read over here, of all people who approach him, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. What does it mean? Does it mean that he's partial? He's a bit biased? If you come to me, I'll give you. If you don't come to me, I don't give you. Is that what Krishna is saying? It's a bit confusing. It's inconceivable. Let's move on. And again in Bhagavad Gita, he says, I envy no one. Nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion, he is a friend in me, and I am also a friend in him. So you see, the first one tells you that Krishna can be a little bit partial. He likes his devotees. But the second verse explains that, no, Krishna is saying no. Okay? So how do you reconcile it? Queen Kunti explains very nicely. She says, she said, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be like a human and very misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. You do not hate anybody, and you do not like anybody intensely. Everybody is equal. People only imagine that you are partial, or you are biased, or you are unequal. Okay, so that's her explanation. And then she moves on to explain. Look at the sun rays. Look at the sun. Does the sun say, okay, I'm going to shine to Sushilji, I'm not going to bother about you? No. The sun is giving out its rays to everybody. It's up to us whether we want to accept the rays. A stone can become a gem with the sun. Okay? But a person who can't see, for him there's no difference. So it's up to us. The sun rays are there, it's up to us whether we want to go in and get the rays. So similarly, the Lord's mercy is there for everybody. It's up to you whether you want to be a receptacle to grab the mercy. If you grab the mercy, then you will feel that everything is going in the right direction. If you don't grab, no. So the problem lies with us, it does not lie with the Lord. Move on. I've got 5 more minutes. Okay? And the next few verses, Queen Kunti will explain, why did you actually come? I know why you came. Why did you come? And this is a very interesting one. Just look at the last verse. Listen to the last line of this verse. Okay? So unborn is Krishna, he was never born. Okay, although he appears as the son of Devaki and Vasudev, he actually appeared in his 4-armed form and then he moved into the baby form. So she says that some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of the pious kings. Because the kings were all very pious, Krishna came to glorify them. And others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of his dearest devotees. But you appear automatically in King Yadu's family, just like sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. You see, so Malaya Hills is called Malaysia. It's in the scriptures. So Malaysia is already mentioned in the scriptures. Okay? So that's one of the reasons why he appears, to glorify the pious and the saintly kings. The second reason he appears is because he was answering the prayers of Devaki and Vasudev. Many lifetimes before, okay, Devaki and Vasudev were Kashyap and Aditi. They were Kashyap and Aditi, and the child born was Upendra. Okay, and then Devaki and Vasudev were also Sutapa and Prishni, and the child was Prishni Garbha. And in this life, they appeared as Devaki and Vasudev, and the child is Krishna. Because she has been praying for this opportunity for her to be the mother of the Lord. That's why he appeared 3 times. And the third reason is, of course, to kill the Asuras, Krishna says very clearly. And the fourth, but the most important reason, is to bring us back. How does he do it? By rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering and worshipping. Okay? If you hear to Hari Katha, which Acharya Ji speaks, okay? If you remember this and if you worship the Lord, the gates of heaven, the gates of Vaikuntha will be open for you. Okay? So that's what she says. So Prahlad Maharaj spoke about the 9 processes of bhakti, and they are all in the slides. Just drop me an email or WhatsApp, I can share the slides with you later on. I'll just move on because I've got less than 5 minutes. Queen Kunti now says, you have executed all your duties yourself. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us? Now when all the kings are at enmity with us, you are going to leave? Why does she not want to leave Krishna? Or why does she not want Krishna to leave her? Look at the Mahabharata war. What happened at the end of the Mahabharata war? Krishna and Arjuna got into a small argument. Krishna was telling Arjuna, you please get off from the chariot. And Arjuna was telling Krishna, you please get off. And finally Arjuna said, okay, I will get off. He got down, he walked away, and Krishna walked down and he walked away. And what happened to the chariot? It burst into flames. It just burst into flames. Because Krishna was protecting Arjuna and the chariot from all the weapons which were coming from the Kauravas. So if Krishna has already seated in our heart, if we try to remove him, asking him to leave, there can be lots of problems for us. I'll just end today's session with this final verse. So she says finally to him, O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of all the political parties that are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess or your power never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavan, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas and the devotees. You possess all mystical powers and you are the perceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer my respectful obeisances to you. Okay? So with that we end Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दम्